Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Council for Maintenance podcast. If this is your first time joining us, we're a show that takes a behind-the-scenes look into the gritty, non-glamorous life of aircraft maintenance. We share some laughs, impart some wisdom, all in hopes of giving you that split seconds relief in your day that can hopefully prevent a mishap. I am your co-host, Six, and once again, I am flying solo today. Our two other co-hosts, MVP and Shoreline, are off again doing business matters that needs their undivided attention, and I wish them well for that to make sure it gets done to completion. So for today, I'm kind of building off a little bit from our previous episode where we talked about finding your why, and also building a little bit on that Q&A panel with the Women's Aerospace Network. So today, I'm going to explore the core teachings of norms, regulations, and expectations, and how we can break free from the confines of hearsay to cultivate progressive learning and adaptation. All right, so let's start by understanding the core knowledge and teachings we encounter in aviation. As aircraft mechanics, we're taught norms and regulations that are essential for safety and efficiency. However, it's easy to get caught in this cycle of following rules without truly understanding their purpose. I'm sure there's many that we've been told that we're supposed to do, like do this because reason X, do that because that, do this because that. And then when you really sit there and ask the why, there's really no major explanation other than like, well, this is how we were always taught how to do it. Or this is what my so-and-so taught me how, or more commonly, because I freaking told you to. You know? Like, think about it. Regulations are not just hoops to jump through. They are designed to keep us safe and efficient. But if we only stick to what we know, we might miss out on innovations that can improve our work and the industry. So let's dive a little deeper into this, why it's crucial to comprehend these regulations beyond their face value. Each rule and regulation has been crafted based on past experiences, often shaped by incidents, sadly, and lessons learned the hard way. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of painful for me to say, but yeah. Understanding the history and rationale behind these regulations can transform our approach from merely compliance-driven to one that enhances proactive safety measures and efficiency improvements. For example, consider the regulation regarding the regular inspection of an aircraft engine, so to say. On the surface, it might just seem a simple routine task. Do this, check here, open this, check here, check the fluids, check your gear, check your stuff, kick tires, and whatever. However, when you dig deeper into the reasons for these inspections, you will find a wealth of knowledge about engine wear patterns, the impact of environmental factors, the importance of timely maintenance, and so on and so forth. And this understanding not only encourages compliance, but also enhances your ability to identify potential issues before they become major problems. So by fully grasping the reason behind things, we can contribute to discussions on improving and updating them. Like, there are certain things that have been well past their time as far as practical applications, but yet we still talk about it that way. Why? and it's rife with that kind of stuff. Like, there's things that happen that have been passed down that many times, and some to the point where we don't know why or how it came about, but we just do it because, air quotes, tradition. And I'm sure some of you might have different examples of this. And surprise, the aviation industry is continuously evolving with new technologies, methodologies emerging regularly. There's service bulletins, alert bulletins of stuff that just sometimes they pop up by the hour as to do this because of this, do this because of that. Like, well, what the heck? Why are we getting so many things that for a method that's been used so many times? It's because the awareness of failure or the awareness of new ways to do things pop up. Or sometimes people just find better ways to do things, or the preferred method to do stuff just goes obsolete. So we have to find new ways of doing stuff. By staying informed and engaged, as mechanics, we can offer valuable insights that lead to more effective ways to do things. And embracing a deeper understanding encourages innovation. when we know the why of things are done, we can better identify areas where we can improve them. Maybe a new emerging technology comes up. Maybe something goes obsolete and a new brand comes up, right? Our expertise in this can help us figure out ways to tackle solutions. And this mindset fosters an environment where innovation thrives, leading to advancements that benefit not only the mechanics, but everybody. And understanding the purpose behind things enhances teamwork. When everyone on a team comprehends the why behind the action, it fosters a more cohesive environment where each appreciates the importance of their role. This can lead to more effective collaboration, communication, and ensuring that safety and efficiency are prioritized across the board. So while regulations and norms are foundational to the work as mechanics, it's imperative to go beyond just mere compliance, right? We need to understand the underlying principles, the why it happens, and why it needs to happen a certain way. So we can understand that if we can figure out how to meet the why, the core reason why it exists, we can innovate in ways that maintains its compliance, but also fits the application of where it's happening. So let's challenge ourselves here to look beyond the surface and truly grasp the essence of the why. And this kind of goes back to what I was previously saying about hearsay, right? How do we break free from the hearsay and outdated conventions? Okay, this is key to understand and to question why it is. Just because something has been done a certain way so many times for so long, it doesn't mean that it's the best way or if it's even the right way. As I mentioned before, the world of aviation, heck, the world in general, is constantly evolving. And what worked yesterday may not work today or even tomorrow. So let's consider a second, when we first started the show. We're not decision makers in the industry, or we're barely an influence in the path in the areas we're at. But we have insights and experiences to share. And it was about stepping out of our comfort zones and trying something new. Heck, we didn't know shit about podcasting, but here we are. We didn't let that lack of formal authority stop us from making our voices heard. And instead, we leveraged our passion for what we do to carve out a space that's uniquely ours. And every single one of you have the ability to do the same. Maybe it's podcasting, maybe it's writing, maybe it's telling something that needs to be heard that no one is prepared to hear it. And breaking free from hearsay also involves the willingness to embrace failure as a learning tool. Many of the greatest innovations have come from individuals or teams who dared to challenge the status and failed. But they don't just fail, they learn from the mistakes. And it's about fostering this mindset that views setbacks not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone to success. Just because it failed, we need to not just take that as an L, we also need to understand why we failed. Right? Maybe it's something we shouldn't have done. Maybe it's something we were doing right, but we just went the wrong way about it. Who knows? Right? But you won't know until you really dig deep into that. And this requires courage, obviously. This requires persistence and the willingness to be open-minded and to adapt. Maybe your approach is wrong. And engaging with a diverse range of perspectives can be incredibly enlightening. By listening to voices outside of our usual circles, we gain new insights and ideas that can help us see things different or see things from different angles. This diversity of thought can be a powerful antidote to the echo chambers that often perpetuate outdated beliefs. And another crucial aspect is to stay informed about current trends and advancements, especially with aviation. And being well informed allows you to distinguish between what is truly beneficial to what is just merely tradition because people are just afraid to change their mind. This empowers you to make decisions based on evidence and reason rather than assumption, hearsay, and air quotes tradition. Breaking free from this hearsay is about cultivating curiosity and a continuous desire to learn and to grow. It's about questioning the norms and seeking out the truth for ourselves. And by doing so, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to the broader discourse, the broader discussion, and encourage others to think critically and do the same. So let's talk a little bit about cultivating learning and adaptation. I said earlier in the episode about progressive learning. I don't precisely mean like from a political spectrum of progressive, which is sadly what is being interpreted nowadays. What I mean by progressive, we're not just staying in one place, right? We're trying to stack our knowledge base. And then cultivating this progressive as an advancing learning means embracing change and being open to new ideas. Not all change is good. I got it. Not all change is good. But you got to kind of understand what's the engine driving it. And got to understand change is inevitable. And if you're not the one who's willing to at least adapt to the problem that this change presents, you're going to go extinct and obsolete very fast. And sometimes this might mean adapting to new technologies or different methods. But again, it's all about being adaptable and willing to learn. For instance, mentoring isn't just about teaching what you know, but also be willing and open to learning from the people that you mentor. Novel concept, I can imagine. So you have a lot of people who are willing to teach, but they only want to teach a certain thing. And then when a student or a mentee or whoever challenges them, their brain shuts off because no, that's the only way to do it. My way is the only way and everything else is trash. How many of you have experienced that before? Right? So it's a two-way street that encourages growth on both sides. Just because you're the teacher doesn't mean you're unable to learn or that you've learned it all and you're not going to learn anything else. And this mutual learning environment fosters an exchange of fresh perspectives, innovative solutions even. And this fuels creativity and problem solving. And in incorporating this progressive learning, again, advancing learning into the workplace can also involve ongoing professional development and training opportunities, such as regular workshops, webinars, courses, conventions such as the Aircraft Maintenance Competition or MRO Americas, and so forth. Right? This keeps people updated with the latest trends and tools and so forth. And it's essential to allocate these times and resources so that these pursuit for education, for knowledge, demonstrate a commitment to continuous improvement. And then creating this culture that encourages questioning and curiosity can lead to a significant advancement. When team members feel comfortable challenging the status quo, proposing new ideas, they contribute to a dynamic that's forward-thinking. If you look at a lot of other organizations where they were just about to head into the tubes, like Apple, for instance, Apple was almost done skis, and then they had a change of culture, they had a change of way of doing things, and they freaking rocket back to the top. And whenever you ask organizations like this, they say like, well, we encourage this free thinking amongst our group, and we allow people to question the norms. Right? Now, I will preface that there's times when questioning the status quo is not a good thing. Right? And that's usually in a time where we're still trying to figure things out. I got it, right? But there's also a right and a wrong way to dissent. I fully acknowledge that. Right? But if you're not at least being curious about how and why things are going, it's just going to slip right by you, and then your input at the time when it's where your time to add critical input is going to be worthless at that point. Right? So being able to understand and be aware of things and being willing and able to question, at the very least be curious, not only enhances your individual capability, but also strengthens the team's collective ability to do things, i.e. their intelligence. And then consider the impact of technology in this context, right? The aviation industry has seen massive technological advancements at a super fast pace, for that matter. AI, for instance, data analytics to innovative flight systems, fly-by-wire stuff, heck, even single pilot operations. It's crazy how fast aviation has progressed as a whole. We used to go from canvas airplanes, and now we're going to like sheer carbon fiber or like not 100% non-metal bodies and stuff like that. And these changes require a mindset that is eager to explore and integrate these into daily operations. It's about creating an agile environment where employees are encouraged to experiment and innovate without fear of failure. And furthermore, the feedback loops. Meaningful feedback is crucial to this type of ecosystem. Constructive feedback helps identify areas for improvement, reinforces positive behaviors, facilitate personal and professional growth, and gets you out of this mind of this echo chamber, so to say, right? If you're just around people who are just going to tell you how amazingly great you are, you're not going to realize how much you actually suck. Or vice versa. If you're in an environment where everyone just tells you suck, you're not going to know just how exactly good you really are. If that makes any sort of sense to people. So encouraging some open communication and regular constructive feedback can help people and teams reflect on their progress and adjust their approaches accordingly. And then passing on universal lessons is an essential tool that transcends cultures and generations. It is the act of sharing wisdom that has stood the test of time, serving as a beacon for future generations. This practice ensures that the knowledge accumulated over time doesn't just fade away, but instead becomes a foundational element upon which new ideas are built. These lessons encompass fundamental truths and core principles applicable to various situations and that make them timeless. One of the most significant aspects of these universal lessons is the ability to adapt, as we've been saying some time ago. They provide a stable framework for people so they can rely on. They give them guidance and clarity in times of uncertainty. Now, for instance, consider the universal lesson of empathy, understanding and sharing the feelings of others. This principle is crucial in fostering relationships and building communities, irrespective of the era or the advancements of the technology they're in. And then passing on universal lessons encourages people and encourages a culture of learning and growth. It inspires individuals to seek out wisdom and knowledge, to question and explore beyond the surface. For example, another example is the lessons of perseverance. It teaches the importance of resilience and determination, instilling a mindset that values effort and persistence. This lesson is particularly relevant in today's fast-paced world, where challenges and setbacks are common. By embracing perseverance, we can overcome obstacles and achieve our intended goals. So like the act of passing on universal lessons is not merely about preserving knowledge. It's about empowering future generations. It is like a gift that keeps on giving, a legacy that ensures the continuity of wisdom and understanding through time. As we share these lessons, we not only honor the past, but also contribute to the foreseeable future. And then finally, let's talk a little bit about stepping out of our comfort zones. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Whether it's starting a podcast like us, learning a new skill, pushing our boundaries, they can lead to all sorts of opportunities. Stepping out of your comfort zone is like opening a door to a room filled with potential. It's where the magic happens, where you discover aspects of yourself that you never knew existed. Imagine like tackling a challenge that you once saw as unachievable, or the finish line was so far away, it's like near impossible for you to actually do it. But each step you take beyond your comfort zone not only builds the resilience, but also enhances your confidence. We see this happen a lot, especially like for military basic training. They tear you right down to zero, and they give you these challenges that just seem nearly impossible. And each time you do stuff, it gets progressively harder, but also you understand that as it gets progressively harder, you're becoming progressively more resilient and capable. And every time you push your limits, you're expanding the horizon. Think of all these different innovators and leaders throughout history. Many of their breakthroughs happened because they dared to venture into the unknown. They embraced discomfort. They gave themselves permission to grow. They fail. They learn, which are all, surprise, essential components of success. In our case, for example, when we first started this podcast, we didn't know anything, like literally nothing about podcasts. And we were coming in at a time when podcasting was booming. Like everybody had a podcast. So we were just being drowned out by all the other voices. And we didn't have anyone to really model from. There was not another aircraft maintenance podcast out there besides like some seminar lecture that's used for studying. We had nothing to base ourselves off of. So we were like, well, screw it. Let's just be our authentic self, joke around, pass on what we learn, and just hope for the best. We made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. We had severe technical issues. We absolutely did not know what the hell we were doing. But yet, people listen to us, amazingly enough. and now we're supposedly one of the top most listened aircraft maintenance podcasts out there, period. I'm not saying this as a mean to brag, but it's just about you never really know until you try. And so I challenge you to try something that scares you a little bit. It might be uncomfortable at first, but stepping into the unknown, I can't help but not think of that Frozen song whenever I say that, into the unknown. Perhaps you wanted to travel solo, take up painting, switch careers, learn how to write books, whatever. These actions, while daunting, can enrich your life in ways you never imagined. And even if you fail, you've learned that much more about yourself. Like, I can do this to a certain point. I am creative to a certain point, or I know that I can do this and I really love it. And I really want to embrace more of it. And they teach us to cope with uncertainty and adapt to change. These are skills that are invaluable in today's world. And then stepping out of your comfort zone can really inspire those around you. When others see you taking bold steps, it encourages to do similar. And this ripple effect can lead to a culture of innovation and growth within your community, your workplace, your social circle, and your family circle. So like the courage to step out of your comfort zone is a powerful catalyst for transformation. Embrace the opportunities that come with it and watch as everything unfolds in all these various ways, be it good or bad. And every great adventure begins with a single step into the unknown. There's that Frozen song again. So now it's your turn. What norms or expectations have challenged you in your field? How have you cultivated progressive learning? Hey, share your stories with us on social media, drop us an email. Whichever way is the easiest way for you to get in contact with us. The absolute easiest way to have conversations like this with us is through our Discord channel via Patreon. We have a multitude of conversations like this, and it's a learning experience every single time. And before we wrap up, don't forget to check out our comics on the Tapas app. It is probably the only web comic out there that specifically focuses on aircraft maintenance. Hey, remember to rate, subscribe, and review our podcast. It really helps us grow our community and reach more listeners just like you. On that note, hey, thanks again for joining us on Council for Maintenance. My name is Six, and remember to keep challenging your norms, leaving those breadcrumbs, and trying something that scares you a little bit. Until next time, keep them flying. Bye, everybody. We'd like to take a moment to give a heartfelt shout out to our fantastic patrons. Your unwavering support is the magic behind the show, helping us produce thrilling episodes, keep our gear in top shape, and create awesome merch just for you. With special shout outs going to SaKonna, Eric Shaw, Kiel K, Daniel Liang, Mike Sherwood, Caleb Stockdale, Carm M, Dan Schubert, and Ryan Freshour. Thank you all so much for your support and your patronage. If you enjoy our show, why not join our Patreon community? You'll unlock a whole slew of perks, including access to our private Discord community, special discounts, early board access to our merch, and front row seat to our sneak peeks of our comics and other projects. And if you're feeling adventurous, don't forget to strut your stuff as an aviation aficionado by visiting our store at cancelformaintenance.com. For those who appreciate a touch of class or rugged charm, check out our affiliate at Rockwell Time at rockwelltime.com. Use the code CX4MX for 10% off your total order. If you need a headset, be it for in the aircraft or on the ground, or just need better ways to preserve your hearing, visit DalcomTech at dalcomtech.com. Got a burning topic or you'd like to be a guest on the show? Drop us a line on our contact us section at cancelformaintenance.com. We're all ears and we're eager to bring your ideas to life. Stay connected with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook at Cancel for Maintenance, or you can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Canx, that's CANX, for Maintenance Podcast. Lastly, be sure to check out our comics on the Tapas app. We might just be the only webcomic focused on aircraft mechanics. Like, share, subscribe, and leave us your thoughts. Thank you all again for being the great community that you are. Your support means the absolute world to us, and we can't wait to catch you all on the next episode. Until then, keep them flying.